But there was definitely a moment like at the end of that video where I was like, my life's gonna end. Right?
Yeah.
And like, at least I'm with my friends.
It was
like,
totally
It's our
crazy.
final will and testament.
Yeah.
So normally we like to start with how we know the guests, and I met y'all when you guys were on tour just recently, when you guys stopped in Salt Lake playing with our buddy Sunsleeper.
Yeah.
I think, I don't remember who, it was one of the bands that was playing first, and I wanted to go talk to, oh my God, Jeff from Sunsleeper, and I like was walking out, and you guys were just kind of hanging out because it was like super packed in there, and I could just tell by you guys just hanging out. I was like, oh, these guys are band. I bet this is the touring band.
Yeah, Jeff is awesome. I got to have a conversation with Jeff in the merch zone, and he was very friendly and very cool.
Hell yeah.
That place was awesome.
It was really fun.
Really fun.
So how was that tour? You guys just got back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not too long ago. It was great. It was more successful than we imagined it would be. You know, we kind of we booked it ourselves. So we didn't really know what we were going to get, and everything worked better than we could have hoped for. So.
Yeah. That was the longest we've all been away from home. It was a whole month. So
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the process of booking that like? Were you just kind of going through bands like in the area, or who handled that?
It was just like all over Instagram DMs. Just felt crazy, like looking at my phone as much as we were, you know. But yeah, I mean, it was all over the place. It was pretty much just us on the internet trying to be like, who do we know that's close to here, and who do they know that can help us out, sort of thing. And everybody was super friendly, and like, I don't know, that's the thing that I was most psyched on, is like everybody's very willing to help out around the country. So sometimes it doesn't feel like that. So it was
yeah, definitely feels
That's
like
the DIY touring.
Yeah, it feels like the return rate of the amount of people you reach out to is usually very low. So
yeah. In that case, it seemed like everybody was really responsive and like eager to help us out, which was really cool. Wes and Levi did most of the booking, so I got to kind of just chill, but they dealt with all of the stressful part of it, which was nice.
Will's department is like merch.
Yeah, I'm the merch guy. I print all the merch, and I source all the art and stuff, or make it myself. So
hell yeah,
that's cool.
So what was like some of the crazy stories from the road? Because you guys were on the road for a month. You got to have something happen, right? Yeah, Wes.
I feel like the first thing to talk about in terms of crazy stories would be, we had an off day in Big Bend.
I was literally
which is a big national park. It's like a nobody talks about it, but there's this big, beautiful national park in Texas.
Like on the border of Mexico.
Yeah. And we had an off day, and we got a cabin in the woods. And and we hiked this canyon, and we were kind of just enjoying our time out there. And then before we knew it, the sun was setting, and we were running out of time, and there was nowhere to eat in the area, and there was no grocery stores or anything like that.
We're not experienced outdoors people.
And we weren't prepared at all. So I mean, I don't know if you want to take.
We were on our way back, and like it's like the national park is like, really out there, so you got to drive like a ways to actually be in it, and so that means you got to drive a ways to get back to where you're staying if you're not staying in the national park. And we got back at like 10, and everything.
Was there snow on the ground?
Yeah, it actually snowed there for like the first time in like 5 years or something like that.
Oh, no.
One of the locals told us that. Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, like everything was closed, and like there was nothing open. We didn't have any food. We hadn't eaten like all day, and like
we hiked all day.
We hiked all day, and it was like it wasn't like. It was like a stressful hike. It was like kind of intense. And then we went to this like one restaurant that we could find, and we got there, and we were like, "Is your kitchen still open?" And the bartender like asked the one line cook they had, like, is the kitchen still open? And he just went, oh. And so we were
he
like,
probably
right,
just cleaned up, right?
Yeah. We were like, all right, we're not gonna do, like, because all of us have worked in kitchens and stuff before.
So we got 5 minutes.
Yeah, he said you got 5 minutes.
And we're like, nah.
We're like, we're not gonna do that for them. So then we kind of panicked a little bit because we're all at this point we're like going crazy. We're very hungry.
We thought we would find like a vending machine after that or something, but not even that. Like,
So, but luckily, like, because we're on tour, like we have.
Oh no! Don't tell me you're about to start going under the seat for gold.
Exactly what we did.
No!
It was Chex Mix for dinner that night. Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah, we scrounged to see like whatever like snacks we had in the car, and like we were like splitting up crackers, like
man,
fucking peasants,
like rationing. Yeah,
but we made the most of it,
crackers.
Dude. Yeah. That's tour life. Oh my god. So when did you guys get food?
The next morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not until you left the cabin.
Yeah, not till we left the cabin.
You guys just fasting the whole day.
I thought there was like a breakfast, like there was like a little cafe on the like ranch site.
Yeah.
And so we ate breakfast there the next day, which funny enough, we were like so far out there and they were like, where are you guys from? We're like, we're from Richmond, Virginia. And like the waiter was like, no way, my wife's from there. And I'm from like 2 hours south of there.
So crazy.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
He was like, my wife lived at a DIY house show spot in Richmond. And it was just like crazy to bump into that, like the least expected place to bump into it.
I feel like you find that though, the more you travel. Like I ran into somebody that was like grew up a town over in New York City once that just ran a donut shop. Yeah, it's just weird how that works.
I feel like that's like a really fun part about going on tour and playing music is just how connected the whole world is, and just like, you know, like I know this person that knows this person, and it kind of makes it feel like a big family, and it's cool to feel the support from everybody, which is cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It kind of goes back to the booking the tour and stuff too.
Exactly.
Yeah. It always helps.
But mentioning kind of the cabin in the woods, it seems like you guys kind of have like this theme going on, at least between like music videos, where it's like you guys love nature, but you also are like all about friendship and stuff like that too. Is that kind of like crucial to your guys' creative process, is hanging out in nature?
Absolutely. I think it is. Yeah. I mean,
chilling, really.
Yeah.
And like, we're like, okay, we could shoot a music video, but like, we also all want to go on vacation. So let's go.
Let's just go to the beach.
Music video.
Yeah. I mean, and also like living in Virginia where we live, it's like, we're close to the beach. I grew up in a small like mountain town in the middle of nowhere. We get to like kind of experience all different kinds of environments. And I think we all kind of just love that. So,
yeah.
I mean, it comes through too, like the friendship and the whole like you guys just hanging out and having a good time. So it makes sense if you are on vacation, because it's like, oh, okay, they're just hanging out. Yeah.
We're definitely like best friends, like all of us.
Yeah.
So, like we've known each other for a really long time. So.
We've been through a lot together. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like not all bands are like that to some degree.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It definitely feels that way I mean, maybe it's just because since we started this podcast, I've become more aware of it, but it feels like a lot of the bands that we talked to lately, like that isn't the case. They haven't really known each other for a long time. They kind of just connected online, and they all live like totally spread out across the US. So
yeah,
it's cool to see that bands are still like friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Speaking of which, then how did you guys all meet then? Because I remember talking to you at the show, and you guys kind of mentioned that two of you had started the group and then kind of brought y'all in.
Let Wes and Nick take that.
Wes and I met in 9th grade.
Don't tell me math class, dude. This is
it happens
honestly,
every time.
Just the hallway.
Yeah.
Just the hallway.
Wait, didn't you guys like? Were you both wearing like Vans or something?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
had the same
same
shoes.
And so I was like, we were like, yo, we need to be friends. He was like, my favorite band's Green Day. And I was like, oh shit, my favorite band's Blink-182, and he's like, I play guitar. I was like, oh shit, I play drums.
This is moving so fast.
And then
You guys want to do karate in the basement?
yeah.
we've been chilling ever since. So
Yeah. But then I met Nick and Wes like at orientation at the college we all went to, VCU.
Oh, okay.
And it was like the literal like first day of school. There was like a barbecue. in the
I saw them
park.
wearing Vans.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I was like,
you probably were, to be honest.
yeah. My roommate knew their friend, and like it was kind of just like we met, and I just immediately knew we were going to be good friends. And I knew Keep already existed, and like growing up in a small town, I was like,
A band called Take.
Yeah, I was just like, all I ever wanted to do was be in a band. So I knew they were doing it, and I kind of just like latched onto them and stuck around long enough to be part of the band, essentially.
So when you met him, was it one of those things where you're like, oh, you guys are the dudes from Keep?
No, I didn't know about Keep, but like Virginia Beach and Chesapeake, that area where they're from, had a lot of like popping bands, and I knew they were like on a label and stuff. And that was mind blowing to me at the time, because I had never met anybody in a band, like a legitimate band.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I kind of just stuck around. I don't think, did you guys have a bass player when I met you guys? I don't think.
Yeah, Danny.
Yeah. Okay. That's right. Yeah.
We went through bass players like a revolving door, and then eventually Will was just like, it happened where Will just joined the band, and we were a 3-piece for a while, and then not until like 2 years ago, Levi joined the band.
Mm-hmm.
So now it just feels like a new band, like within the last year. You know what I mean? So
how did you meet Levi?
We met at a really special place.
oh yeah, the best sandwich place in Richmond.
Yeah, it's gone now. It was called Nick's Deli, but it was
Don't tell me
very
it's
good
apartments
sandwich.
now.
Is
It's
it
a thrift
apartments?
store. It's not as bad as
Oh, okay.
apartments.
All right.
So
I also I
Probably for
worked at a
clothes.
restaurant with Levi,
yeah.
and I was playing in a different band, and I got Levi to join that band, and then it was like I'm also in Keep, and it kind of just worked out.
So you just bring Levi wherever you go. Like, hey,
Yeah.
man, I'm in this band now.
I'm down.
Yeah.
So you guys kind of just released not too this year, right? In here, or Happy in Here, right?
Yeah,
That was this
in
year.
February.
3
I
months
was kind of
ago.
curious about like the album artwork on there. Did you guys do that yourself?
No, that was an artist I found like through like a YouTube video of like
Oh wow.
bizarre artists you need to know about or something. I stay watching the like top 10 scary videos or top like whatever. I'm
Yeah.
very into YouTube, and I found this guy Justin Quinnell. He's from England, and I just emailed him and I was like, I think that your art like would be perfect for this album, and he was really cool about it, and it was pretty cheap. And,
Didn't he say he like saw like this ride?
yeah,
Somebody.
I think I like referred to us as a shoegaze band, and he was like, "Oh, like I love Swerve Driver. I wish."
yeah.
He was like, I missed Swerve Driver last week when they were here." Blah blah blah, and he was really cool about it. So that's his photo. He like specializes in pinhole photography, and he makes these like specialized cameras that go inside your mouth.
I was gonna say, it's like, how the fuck did you get a camera in your
Yeah.
mouth?
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool.
He actually like makes them too, and you can actually like buy.
You buy a kit from him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Oh
really
wow.
cool.
But I felt like it worked. I mean, I don't want to say that I had this thought off the bat. At first, I was just like, that's a cool picture. But then with us naming the album Happy in Here, I thought it was cool because it's, the photo's taken from inside somebody's mouth.
You can kind of just make the connection.
Yeah, like I just thought it was kind of cool. And
But that wasn't like, I guess, the intent. But
yeah.
it just worked.
also, it's hard for all of us to agree on like artistic stuff, and we all were immediately like, yeah, that's really cool. Let's go with this. So
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense though, because it's like it seems like very cohesive with all the other like album artwork you've kind of had in the past and like different videos and things. It really like works together, I think.
I'm glad you think that because I wasn't sure if that's the case.
No, it's cool. Yeah, no, it's cool. So, how would you say that now that the band is how it is for Happy in Here? How has it changed since when you guys started it? Because that was like back in like what 2015, 16?
Yeah, something.
13 is when we started.
Oh wow, dang.
Writing shit. Yeah.
Right and shit.
So we're coming up on 10 years.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. Now it's definitely more like collaborative, and everyone has roles like we were discussing before, where it's like certain people handle certain things more prominently than other people, and like
we've all become better musicians. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But with like Wes living in New York, is that like a problem with like rehearsing or jamming or?
Not really. It's like we kind of like we lock in pretty quick when we're all in a room together, and we're pretty good about scheduling things and like working on stuff on our own as well.
Wes comes down to Richmond a lot, and we go to New York a lot.
It's easy to get from New York to Richmond. Richmond to New York. It's only like 5.5 hours, which I feel like that's like really close comparatively if you live on like the West Coast where everything's really far away. But yeah, it's like or like in Salt Lake City, like nothing's around until like Denver or like Boise and like
that's
like
it's a long ways away.
But so like it's I mean, and it's like you hop on the bus because like or the train because like tolls to New York are like I think it's like $45 and then plus gas. So generally like you get on a bus or a train and it's a pretty easy ride. Like nonetheless it's like, you know, respect to Wes for making the trek.
I will say, like, in terms of like my perspective after joining the band years ago and where we're at now, like since Levi's joined, it definitely feels like almost like a new band, which is funny because people always ask us like when we play, like, or at least on this last tour, a lot of people were asking like, oh, like you guys are like a newer band, right? And it's like, we've been around for so long, but I think in the past couple of years, we kind of all were just like, we've been doing this so long, like it's kind of now or never, like let's focus and like try our hardest and see what happens. And so it's cool to hear people ask if we're a new band because it feels like they can see that. So
yeah, well, new to them.
Exactly.
So did you guys record this yourself or did you go into a studio for this?
We went to a studio. We recorded at the studio called Earth Analog.
Okay.
With we recorded with like Zach Montez, who he worked on like some Cloakroom records, and that's kind of like based outside of Chicago in this town called Tolono. And the guy Matt Talbot, who played in that band Hum, he owns the studio, and it's a really cool place because it's like a small town and there's like not many distractions and you stay in the apartment above the studio. So like
it was an old ballet studio. So
yeah,
that's cool.
Like from the 70s. So it's like,
oh wow. Does it have like the wood floors and stuff?
It does, yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
like, all the furniture and stuff is like kind of like psychedelic looking and like it was really cool. And when we were there, it was freezing outside. I think it was probably the coldest any of us have ever experienced before. But that kind of it was I think that contributed to recording because it was like, well, we don't want to go outside. We're not in a major city. There's nothing to do here except for
go to the gas station
or go to the bar. Which and Matt Talbot owns a bar next to the recording studio, and he would just give us free beers and
that's awesome.
It was really.
I've never seen this, but I stepped outside with a beer to like have a cigarette or something, and within 2 minutes the beer was frozen. It was like a slushy. I've never seen that in my life.
Wow.
I was like,
oh yeah,
this can't be good. Like you'll die.
It's not good. Between how cold that was, Nick, and then how cold your bass drum was when you were trying to play it in the ocean and it kept going away, what was colder?
Definitely Kelowna. But the ocean was kind of nice.
Yeah, it felt nice until the bass drums was like, damn it.
That was good.
Did we jump in? I can't
We were
remember.
like building up that shot in our head for so long, and then we got like the one take of it. And we were like, "This is not gonna work beyond this."
I loved that though, because when I was watching it, it was like, oh, I bet that they were probably frustrated in the moment, like it kept going away. But it's like,
That
no,
was, like-
fucking keep it, because that's how it was and how you were doing
that
your
was
art.
the first take of it, because we were like, "We're gonna shoot a few takes of like me playing in the water," and then it just immediately kept carrying away, and we're like, "All right,
I'm sailing away.
that's the take."
Actually, there's some unseen footage of at the end of that where we literally all freak out and just throw the drums in the ocean. Like we're just like,
you need to send that.
Yeah.
You need to
we
send
got him
that.
back. We got him back, but like we were just like,
We got him back.
But the recording process was really cool too, just because we had recorded an EP with Zach a couple of years before that and become pretty close friends with him. And just recording with him is like there's no pressure, and he totally understands exactly what we want our album to sound like. And
It's more of a collaborative effort than just like someone coming in. And you probably had the history relationship with him already since doing the EP, that it made it easier, because then it just cuts out that weird like meeting period or trying to like, is this person going to be able to like translate our art how we want it as well, or work with us? So yeah, that makes it a much easier process. So then did you work quicker than you did before?
I would say yes, but also we were recording more songs, and I was like, at least personally, like the EP we recorded, like Wes wrote a lot of the bass parts. So for the album, I wrote all the bass parts, and it was really smooth. Yeah. But
how long were you in there? I guess you also had to be forced to be inside because it was too cold to go outside. So you had to be like, let's go.
That's true.
uh,
We think we were in there for a week, like 7 days.
7 days.
Perfect.
Oh wow. Yeah,
like-
that's
we
yeah.
did like nine or 10 days.
Okay. Yeah. I guess we
Did you-
we got there like on a yeah, that makes sense.
Did you guys just record to tape live, or what did you? How'd you record?
It was all overdubs, digital. Yeah, we kind of just wanted to like really get the sound right, because we were still sort of learning all the songs to some degree, and we wanted to kind of take our time with it.
yeah, and some of the songs were written in the studio too. Like
Okay,
Cool.
there were ideas there, but we finished some of the songs in the studio. So
And since we were staying in like the apartment like right above it, we could just work until there was no cutoff. Like
Yeah.
Right, and then also it's too cold to be outside, so
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
you don't want. What were you
even
gonna
just
say?
like,
Sorry.
walking from the studio to the bar which was like not that far, was like
But we really wanted those
painful.
beers.
Like it was
So I feel like your guys' music. I mean, I like it, by the way. Thank you. I got you guys' like your 7-inch. Yeah. I love. I play that all the time. I feel like it's like perfect like road trip or driving music, because you can just put it on and just like kind of jam out and just zone out of driving. But you can just like, you know what I mean? Like it just from one song to the other. With Happy in Here, it's just like they're all really cohesive. And then you have like the last track, which is a lot different. Pull the Curtains Back, right?
yeah.
What was when you guys wrote that one? Were you like, this has got to be the one we finish on, or did you not know until you were in the studio?
No, that was Nick wrote that song. That was totally Nick. He plays his guitar and sings on that song.
Yeah, it's all
It was
And-
kind of just like it was an idea I like sent when we were like trying to figure out what was gonna go on the record, and I was like, what if we throw this on there? And then like, I feel like I worked it up in my mind like that we would like do a full arrangement of it or something, and then we got there and it was just like, no, just play it like
yeah,
this. I was like, oh.
it sounds great. Stripped back. No,
That was
what did I do?
that was a
And
crazy
we
moment.
were like, where is it gonna go? And it's like it can only go at the end. You can't throw that in the middle.
No.
It's like,
Yeah, you have to either start
suck
with
all
it or
the
end
air out
with
of the
it.
record. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a heavy moment. Like Nick like got the take, and we are just like all like pretty silent, and like
I might have shed a tear.
And he's like thinking you guys didn't like it because you didn't say anything. He's like, guys.
yeah, we were just like also like after that was like we were like, we probably just shouldn't touch this. Because even then, at that moment, we were kind of like still thinking about doing something more with it, but we were just like, I don't know, it was just such a heavy thing in the moment that we're like, no, that's done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, does
Yeah,
that make
it's too
sense?
pure.
Like,
Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense because
Yeah.
you're like, why if adding more things to it would take away from it instead
Exactly.
of
Yeah.
instead of so no, that makes sense, and it made sense when it ended that way too. You're like, okay, I know we're ending the record because it was like bringing you back down or whatever else, but like going from like For Your Joy, where you have a song like Testament, it's like almost like Black Sabbath type vibes to like
Hell
what it is
yeah.
now.
That's one of my favorite songs to play.
Yeah, I was just wondering what was like, since it's just the two of you, how are you switching then the songwriting from like Testament to Happy in Here?
That's a good question.
I love this band because like it just like it's like a perfect like snapshot of like my life or like our lives, and like the first couple songs or like the first couple EPs me and Nick wrote, like we were going for a very specific thing, and then I think with For Your Joy we were really trying to like branch out as much as we can, and that's why I think a song like Testament exists. Like we were just trying stuff. Like that record, we were really just trying anything and like throwing anything at the wall.
Yeah, and those are the songs that made it, by the way. There's some crazy ideas that they don't exist anymore. But
and then I think with the EP we had after For Your Joy, we started honing it in, and like I think with Happy in Here, we finally found like the Keep sound, I guess. Like yeah, like I just think For Your Joy, we were trying so many different things, and like that's cool. Like, but I remember like when we were writing Happy in Here, like thinking like I want this to be a cohesive record, you know, like I want it all to make sense. So I think now we have a direction that we can go forward with.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because that album is very cohesive. And then also, like, even though For Your Joy might have seemed like you guys were, like, going all these different ways, that one still seems cohesive as well. It's just, like, obviously you had to write those songs to get to what you consider the Keep sound now, because otherwise, if you didn't get those songs out, you would probably just be still writing those songs.
Right, yeah.
But,
I feel like we've had a lot of, like, personal dilemmas with, like, musically, too, just, like, coming from Richmond, where it's like a very like, it's a hardcore city. And I feel like we've always been kind of like, even with Happy in Here, like I think before we like started writing the album, we were all talking about like, let's make it like heavy as shit. And like, that's not what it is.
It always just gets a little softer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a perfect blend of heavy though, because it's like I was saying with the like driving in your car, it's like enough heavy where you can like bob your head to it and get into it, but it's not heavy where you're like, okay, after a couple songs my ears kind of hurt, let's change it to something else kind of thing because it's a little too loud or whatever. But yeah, it's like you guys blend, you come like right in the middle and just blend it well.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you were mentioning that you guys have a hard time agreeing on like art together. So is that, I'm assuming it's not that extreme as far as music goes, or is it? Is it kind of like an ordeal when you're writing?
I think music, we all kind of are like, we all like all different types of music, but I think we know what Keep is supposed to sound like.
It's a good cocktail. It's
without even saying it, really. Like, yeah, we kind of always agree with music stuff for the most part. I mean, there's obviously like conversations when it comes to writing and things like that, but I think it comes pretty naturally.
I also feel like there's like constantly a dialogue about like what we want to do next. There's always like I find myself like just listening to music and I'll send a song and I'll be like, we need to write a song like this. And like most of the time we don't end up writing any of those songs, but like we're talking about like
you're
possible like touch points for like stuff we do moving forward, which I think like having that like constant conversation about like what we want to be doing moving forward helps when we're like actually sitting down to like write.
And sometimes it feels like when we go in and like we're playing together and we're trying to write a song a certain way, and then it comes out a completely different way, and then we're like, this is cool too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I think we're all like
cool.
branching off that. I think we're all really good at like you said, like if we're trying to like write a song that sounds like this band or this song, we kind of will like have that as like the starting point, but then we're all kind of like, we'll let the song write itself, and just whatever sounds correct, we just go with, you know.
Right. Yeah, because at the end of the day, those songs are just like the inspiration to start something. You're not trying to copy it, obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're just saying like, hey, I like the vibe of this. I wanted to have a vibe like that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like you're sitting there like, okay, these are the chords they're using.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, especially like sometimes I'll say shit and I'm like, we're not gonna write something that sounds like this. This is too out there. But it's fun to like throw that out there and just be like, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, at least jam it around and see what happens. Especially, it seems like if you're not all together all the time, you're, you know, living in different cities and whatever else, it's probably good to keep that dialogue, because then you guys are keeping that together, keeping thought process of what we're doing next and moving forward. Yeah. So was the kite a deliberate thing, or did you just have a kite in the car and you're like, let's fly the kite for the music video?
It was deliberate.
No, it's cool. It was really cool in slow motion.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite shots of that video. That was my girlfriend's kite, and we were just like, what props can we bring? Like, we talked about like doing like sandboarding in the video.
Oh shit!
Wow.
We wanted to do that. We wanted to get like a 4-wheeler at some point, but we kind of went into that video with no plan at all. And then we got there, and like the second or third day we were camping on the beach. We were just like, what are we doing here? Like, what is the like?
We had some really grand ideas going in.
Yeah, we always kind of
like, let's buy like a thing off of one of the planes that says like happy here.
Oh, dude, yeah. And then like
we're like, let's go skydiving, and it's just like, we don't have money for any of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the kite was just something we had, and I was like, I know this will look good, and it's a cool ass kite. So
no, I think that music video is awesome. I love every aspect of it, dude. I love like Wes just jamming out in the old ocean, and it's like it's fucking cool. I was telling him when you got up that I love the bass drum floating away too. I like that you kept that in there, because everyone, you know, like the whole like, no, it needs to be perfect, man, we can't have that. Like, I love that, because then it comes in with like the friendship thing, like, no, we can goof around, we can have fun, but we can still be serious and make this cool art, and you have like the different slow motion and different things in there. Yeah, I like it.
I remember on the last night, Wes was telling us about how he like read on Reddit or something that like whatever date that was, like some kind of like terrible natural disaster.
Oh yeah.
Or something. Oh. And so we kind of we were already talking about that, like, oh, like that would be kind of funny, or like, I don't know, something crazy might happen today. Yeah. And then while we were shooting, we saw what we thought was a UFO in the sky, and like we filmed it. It's in the video. And we were like all like, holy shit.
I mean, we also thought it was like a missile.
We were like, we're seeing like this is
something scary.
This is what Wes is talking about. And it ended up just being the like SpaceX like satellite.
Elon Musk is at it again.
Yeah.
Like,
but
it's still cool.
Definitely a moment like at the end of that video where I was like, my life's gonna end. Right?
Yeah.
And like, at least I'm with my friends.
It was totally crazy.
Final will and testament.
Yeah. But yeah, it's right at the end of the video.
It's during the like credits, kind of like.
There's a clip of like this like meteor looking thing, and it's just a satellite. But when we were in the desert, when we were at Big Bend, we hiked this canyon, and like my favorite part of that was like, in the canyon, everybody's voices were like echoing.
Oh yeah, like the slot canyons.
Yeah, and we were all kind of on a little bit of mushrooms, so it like amplified it a little bit.
Yeah,
and I kept the song Testament. The original name of that song was going to be Testament of Solomon.
Oh wow!
and I'm on like mushrooms, and all these voices are echoing, and I just started I kept going, Testamante, Salamundo, and like speaking like fake Latin. And it was like
Nick's over there with the ride symbol.
Yeah. Definitely like you had to be there for it to actually be funny.
I think it's great.
in the moment, it was the funniest shit ever.
Also, like canyons are not normal for us East Coasters.
Yeah,
yeah. You're like, oh, this is scary.
Yeah, like I'm sure there's so many in Utah, so I'm sure y'all are able to.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of crazy landscapes.
Yeah.
Speaking of like traveling and going through different places, what was like each of your guys' favorite parts of tour, like new places you discovered?
I think, at least for me, Big Bend, just because that's a special place, but also I think it was like all of our first times in the Pacific Northwest too, and like that area is just like just being surrounded like by volcanoes and like just like crazy mountains and like that area was really cool, and I'm definitely still thinking about it.
Yeah, Washington was. We went to Anacortes, Washington, and we hiked Mount Erie.
Yeah, and you guys really love nature.
Yeah, we're all big fans of Mount Erie and Phil Elverum, the artist.
Yeah.
So it was like really, that was probably my favorite place, just because it was like, I'm here, I'm on Mount Erie, and like that's the band is.
Yeah, this project is called that.
And that was really special, just because it was a beautiful, peaceful mountain, and we were all together, and you know, it was mind blowing that we had made it that far from home.
On the other side of the country.
So that was for me, at least. I don't know.
Yeah,
what about you, Wes?
Probably up there, or like I went to California as a kid, but I don't remember it at all. So going as like an adult and like, I don't know. And also loving so many things from California, like it was cool. It was really
you like pull up when the weather's all nice. You're like, oh yeah, I get why everyone lives here. There's like so many people that live here.
We were literally all like, yo, we should move here. Like I like called my girlfriend and I was like, we should move to California and like let's do this. Like we're not going. We got back home to Richmond and we're like, oh, I remember why I live in Richmond. Richmond's awesome. So
the shows are really cool too. We played like with and we played with these bands in LA, Ridgeway, Out West, and Lacuna, and they were all just like really. It just seemed like there was a really good scene for whatever this type of music is out there that doesn't necessarily exist as much on the East Coast. So it was also like felt surrounded by like people with like minds to some degree, and and everybody was super nice too. Yeah.
Hell yeah. What about you, Wes?
I probably San Diego. San Diego's insane. Dude, just like the venue was like next to the beach. So we were just like showing at the beach all day.
Yeah, that's always the best. Yeah.
We ate like fish tacos and like, I don't know. Just people there were cool. Like the show was okay. Like it wasn't.
The show was okay.
The weather was perfect. The show was okay.
But other than that, it was pretty good. We got to eat that
cool.
day.
Yeah, you guys got to eat.
We didn't starve that day.
Yeah,
That's actually like
got some sustenance.
Yeah.
We ate non-fast food that day.
Yeah, dude, eating fast food every day.
We had every chain. Yeah. We had every chain.
Yeah,
how can you not? All the Love's gas stations.
Yeah, every Love's gas station.
That's facts.
Yeah,
it's hardcore facts, man. It's that meme where it's like, do you guys? Oh, you guys go on tour? You must see stop and see so many cool places, and it's just like Love's gas station, Subway.
Yeah,
all that shit.
The Midwest is serious with those rest stops. Though I went into one that had it had like a heated bidet.
Yeah.
That's
go hard, dude.
I missed out on that
one. Needless
like,
to
nobody
say,
told me.
It came in clutch. I really needed it when it came up.
Baby wipes, man.
Shout out to whatever that restaurant was. I can't remember what it's called.
Now you plan all of your tour routes.
How funny would that be if there's a dude that like saw you guys there that you met and he's like, he's talking about the gas station. I worked there.
I worked there.
I worked there. I suggested the bidets. That was me.
Shouts out to that dude.
So since you guys like nature so much, do you try to like as much as you can on tour go like hiking and things like that?
If we can, for sure.
Yeah, I think definitely. Like if we have an off day, a lot of us are like jumping to be like, what is the like craziest nature thing we can go to, or just like most like we like doing like touristy bullshit too. Like I use this website Atlas Obscura, And it just tells you all the like funky things in every city, like the world's biggest ball of yarn.
Yeah, did you go see those?
We did some of that stuff. I'm trying to think.
We missed out on the biggest ball of yarn.
We didn't see the biggest ball of yarn.
And the world's biggest pistachio.
Biggest pistachio.
How big was it?
Big.
It was pretty big.
Bigger than the other ones for sure.
Did we see Mothman on this last tour too?
Or we did at the end.
Yeah, we've been to Mothman a couple times now.
It's like in West Virginia, this town called Point Pleasant. It's like it's a whole rabbit hole, but like essentially in like the late, it's essentially in the late 60s there was like a bunch of paranormal stuff and alien stuff happening in this town, and there's like a book about it. It's really cool.
This bridge in West Virginia like collapsed, and apparently right before it collapsed, a bunch of people saw a man with wings and glowing red eyes. So in West Virginia, there's a statue of that creature, and we're all kind of into like I wouldn't say we're like conspiracy guys, but like we all like entertain in our
it's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun. Yeah,
it's just fun, you know. So anytime I get the chance to see something like that, I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, life's too short to not do that kind of fun. You guys are on tour, live it up, have some fun. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you need those days too. Like, I think a huge reason why we didn't really get into any fights or anything on this last tour, like we got along really well, is probably a lot of that had to do with like having those days of, you know, like either being out and like hiking or like doing something like dumb, like seeing the world's largest pistachio,
taking a break instead of
because a tour that's just like, I mean, these will happen for sure, like tours that's just like driving show Del Taco, like, you know what I mean, like I feel like that'll make anybody kind of grumpy.
It's also like
lack of sleep.
It's nice going out like west now, because there was a period of a few years where I think we only toured in the Northeast. And so we saw all the shit there is to see up there.
It just got
on the route we went on, because we just kept doing the same route too. So not really smart planning on our part, but it feels good to make it out west and like, there's plenty to see that like none of us have even remotely been exposed to. So
I mean, that's half the fun of it, is the traveling. And like you said, if you don't, then it just becomes a chore, it just becomes work if you don't take breaks or have fun with it, because then otherwise it's just the touring show, piss in the bottle.
I did that a few times.
How can you not?
Levi was the champ of that, honestly.
I'm great at it.
I can't.
I'm like, yo, can we just pull over, please? Just one more time, please. I really don't want to pee in the bottle right now.
The first time I ever had to do it, I was like, everybody shut up. And then they're all just like, key in. And it actually helped.
That starts rocking the car. Like
it did. It actually helped me. And then when they could hear it going, they're just like,
That's exactly how it was for me. I tried to pee in the bottle, and like I just couldn't do it. I
just couldn't do it.
And like they were all like, "Come on, dude, you got it." And I couldn't. We had to pull over. Like I don't know what it was, like a mental block. I just couldn't do it. But yeah.
This is where we need to drop an ad for the band Van Catheter.
Yeah.
877 Catheter now.
There's the plug.
There's the plug. Hey man, they sponsor the podcast.
I think the only times it doesn't, I mean, like the only times when you're on tour and it doesn't really feel like working is when you're actually playing, and like you know, like setting up merch, selling merch, and all that stuff. It feels like sometimes like that feels like a job, but like it's sick that like when we do play, it doesn't really get old. It feels good to play. Like
you like, it grounds you to, you're like, oh yeah, this is why we're doing this.
Yeah. And I think that speaks to like we do care about the music a lot, and like, you know, it's nice.
Yeah. Something I'm very curious about. There's a picture of y'all, and you're on top of a billboard, and that can't be legal. How did you get up there? What's the story behind that? It was like, first off, badass.
And are you legally allowed to talk about it?
Statute of limitations. It's an illusion. It's not real.
No, it's real.
Off record, it's real.
Our homie Eric lives in New York, right by the Battery Tunnel, and for some reason on top of his apartment is a billboard, and it's not as crazy as you think. Like it's pretty easy to get up there. Like actually,
I mean, it definitely was like wobbly, and like there were like parts of
it was really scary and terrifying.
Parts of the floor just missing.
We really risked it for the photo.
But we were like, we got to do it. We got to get awesome promos. Like, we didn't really have any good pictures of us, so we had.
It looks like you guys just hopped up one for sure.
Damn, spilling our secrets. No, that's
dispel the myth.
I took a picture of us in front of another billboard next to Salvation Mountain, in California, and I think and I love that picture. So I'm hoping going forward we can just keep taking pictures either on top of or in front of
we love billboards.
Crazy, just blank billboards. There's something about it. Yeah.
Natural.
We'll make that our thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you heard it here first. No one else is allowed to take pictures of it. We already claimed it.
I knew it. Where does the name Keep come from?
I wish I had a good story for it. Like, I think Wes and I literally wrote out a list of words. We're like, we're going to do a 1-word thing. And like, that's the one we landed on.
I thought you'd be like, we were on top of a billboard and
it's crazy. Cause like, that's like probably the most like controversial part about this band. Some people love the name. Some people like hate it. Some people like just don't know what we're saying. Like when we say it, like a lot of
people are like Keith.
Yeah, Keith.
Keith. That's what people say when I say my name. They're like, "Oh, your name's Keith."
My favorite one recently was I was talking to someone, and they're like, "Wait, your band's called Keep?" And I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "Why the hell would you name your band that? That's like a shitty band."
That's why we did it.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna argue that because you got legs to stand on there.
Hey, you just met that person?
Oh no, it's someone.
Okay. He's like, that's rude. I'm in this band Keep. Why would you fucking name your band Keep?
But also, like, up until recently, like, if you searched Keep on like Spotify or YouTube, there is no way you were gonna find
Black Hole.
Really?
But luckily, I don't know what happened. I guess the algorithm just fixed it.
You guys' music was better.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but you can find it now. Like, it used to suck being like, yeah, like my coworkers or like whoever would ask me about being in a band, and I'd be like, yeah, it's Keep, like we're on Spotify, and they would look it up and they'd have to just scroll to find us. But now I think we're like probably the top 1 or 2 things.
Was that ever a problem for the label or anything?
Well, we just do our own thing right now. Like we self-released Happy in Here on like our pseudo label Honeysuckle Sour or Honeysuckle Sour, which is kind of named after the song on the self-titled EP, Honeysuckle Sour. So
yeah,
we're kind of just rolling with that. We're happy. We kind of did the record totally ourselves from the ground up. So we just kind of wanted to finish it like that too. So.
Yeah. There were issues though, like when we were trying to get signed, like with the EP that we did before the album, where like labels were like, you can't be called Keep, like you guys got to change, or like there's another band called The Keep or Keeps, and like you guys have to change your name, and we were like, nah, we're not. We've been Keep for almost 10 years, so we're not going to change it.
Yeah. They can change their names.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my job.
Sorry, I haven't
it's
tried
my job.
We got dibs on the name. We got dibs on the billboards.
You guys running a monopoly out here.
That's just
you guys need to pull your money together and then make a billboard that just says Keep on it. Yeah. Or it just has the new album on there. Yeah.
Or it's a picture of us behind or in front of a billboard on a billboard.
Yeah, it's the picture that you guys already took on the billboard, and it's just that on the billboard. That'd be awesome.
It's that on the
Every
billboard like sponsored by Jimmy John's or some shit.
The band Van Catheters.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Van Catheters.
Yeah, band Van Catheters. You guys all wearing Vans right now?
What's that?
Are you wearing Vans? Everyone's wearing Vans? No?
I'm shooting
also.
Yeah, I'm wearing like rip-off Vans.
I just got the dogs out right now. Their shoes on over here.
I just want to see the video of you guys all throwing the drum kit. Were you actually all like physically like pissed off?
No,
Fuck the
it's more
drums.
just like
Oh.
mobbing.
That's the only way we can end this shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like Nick, I remember we got there and like, no, I'm not calling you out, Nick. Nick or somebody forgot to bring a cymbal, and like the whole thing was like
you forgot to bring your bass.
I didn't. I thought you had my bass. You said
That's true. I kind of.
We had some miscommunication.
Wait, how did we get? Did we drive?
We drove back.
Yeah, we drove back to get the bass hours, but Nick forgot a cymbal. So I was like, let's just like put like a piece of like driftwood.
Okay. I was wondering what that was. I thought it was intentional though.
Yeah, I mean, it works.
It kind of works
out because it's like it's cool, but yeah.
I mean, I think it works too because it's like if the drum set's like falling all over the place, like maybe the driftwood probably fits in a little better.
Yeah, it's just art. Yeah.
That was the whole dilemma though. Like we were looking at like Craigslist. We were like, all right, let's just buy a cymbal or like, and then we went to like a music store and they had some cymbals, but the cymbals were like this big. And I was like, all right.
Also, we went to the music store and I was like, yo, can I just like buy this little cymbal? And the guy was like, man, it's my first day. The owner had to leave. I got to call him and make sure I can sell you this. And he's like, oh man, he's not picking up. He's not picking up. And we're like,
what?
We're like, never mind, dude. And then we walked out and he ran out in the parking lot. He's like, wait, he picked up. You can buy it. You can come buy it. I was like, it's too late. We're good.
Yeah, and it was like, it was down in the Outer Banks, and like, which is kind of just like, I guess there's not. I mean, it's a vacation place.
There's no music scene out there.
I mean, maybe there is.
Maybe cover.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Actually, they had music at the Botanical Gardens.
Oh, true. That's
they
true.
They had the singer-songwriter day at the gardens.
Yeah.
And someone was playing when we went there, and there was like 2 people watching. So.
Yeah, that's always fun. That's how it goes, though.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
OBX is down bad right now, apparently.
Can I just borrow this cymbal that's this big? I'm gonna bring it back.
It's literally what we were saying.
You better bring it back, dude. It's my first day. I'm trying to have
first day.
It's like the one thing he should have like learned how to do is how to sell stuff. And
yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
Was he by himself? Why is he by himself?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
He's like, look, guy, dude, no one comes
sense.
in. This is a front for money, like cocaine.
I don't even
No,
know.
he-
if
Just
buy
stay up
stuff.
here.
He was definitely a chiller. Like we walked in and he was like in the back, like
he seemed a bit fried.
hanging out, like which he was really cool. But yeah,
Didn't
Really nice
tell
guy.
me how to use the computer, man.
Straight up.
So did you have to like just walk around and try to find the driftwood, or were you just walking around and found the driftwood and you're like, let's just fucking throw that on there?
I think that was.
Yeah, we actually were like camping. That for like I think we like camped for like 3 or 4 days, and at the campground it was a 5-minute walk to the beach. So like we were like just like, I mean there was just we were all on the beach, so like there was just shit on the ground, and we were just like that'll work. Fuck it. Like,
as it does. But I feel like even within the Deep, that music video, you guys, is that like a local spot you guys do just that you go to all the way anyways? Because it looks like a river, right?
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah, that place
Falls,
is
right?
that Panther Falls. Right?
Mhm,
Yeah, it's in Charlottesville, Virginia.
it's like like around. It's near the VMI camp.
Yeah, it's pretty close. We've all been there, like had gone there before, and like we just had the idea of like let's just have like a friendship video, like you know.
Yeah, but that's what the other one was too.
When we were recording, I think it was like we were tracking in the deep, and I was like, well, "What is this song about, Nick?" And he's like, "Swimming." So like,
Swim.
yeah, my favorite thing to do, and so yeah, just took a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
went swimming. Yeah.
It seemed fun.
Cool.
Is that like where people like cliff jump and stuff?
Yeah, it's a solid. People have gotten hurt there.
Yeah.
So it's serious.
People died there.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
But you have to.
Yeah, my friend died. It
also,
was the other. Oh shit.
It's voluntarily gnarly. It doesn't have to be that gnarly.
Yeah.
People are like they're doing crazy jumps there. The one that we were doing is pretty easy. It's not. We're not that crazy. Yeah, but I mean, it was cool. I also like, I do want to say like Connor Barrett shot the Dasani video, which looks great. But the one for In the Deep, I like my mom was moving, and so I was helping her move, and in the storage unit there was like the 16mm camera.
Oh,
that,
sweet.
Like we had when I was like really young that I thought was like gone. So, and when I was young, like I didn't know how to use it, so it was like a cool opportunity to learn how to use it. And yeah,
so when you
like,
found it, you were just like, oh.
Yeah, I was really psyched.
Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So that was, I didn't realize that one was shot on 16mm.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so cool. Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. I've always kind of been into that stuff. So
how was it editing it then?
I mean, they send it to you, like when you send it out to a lab, you get the whole like raw footage, like all in one file. So pretty much like one roll of 16 is like about 3 minutes if you shoot it at like normal speed. Like 3 minutes of like actual footage. So I think we shot like 3 rolls of film for that. So it was like a 9-minute file that we just chopped up, and it was kind of like candid. So it wasn't like we had to have a lot of footage, you know. So
some of it was shot in Richmond too. There's a lot of
few shots,
all the like river stuff that's in Richmond. We live next to the James River, and that's like a nature spot that we kind of regularly go to out here. So
do you guys write any songs out by there, or like when you guys go camping or on the beach or anything, you write
maybe
songs
in our head?
There?
No, I wish that was the case. I wish I could say we like wrote some songs next to the fire by the river, but nah.
That's the next album. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
We actually wrote the entire next album out there that day.
It's called Sad Out Here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gonna have a very different tone.
Yeah, all the music videos are just gonna be us not being friends.
We're actually mad at each other now.
Like I hate
mad at each other now. Yeah, there you go. Hell yeah. What? I mean, going back to like the older stuff, like, is it MSL? Is that it? MSL?
Yeah.
What does that stand for? And it's a cool music video, by the way. It's got like, gives me like Joy Division type like vibes.
Oh yeah.
Like the whole like black and white, and like it's really cool and like appealing.
That was Nick's girlfriend.
My girlfriend made that video.
Hell yeah. But like, what was that like? Stand for MSL?
It's My Saccharine Lady, which we wrote that song, and I was like, I was listening to a lot of like old country stuff, and I was like, I want to write like a country song. So wrote this very like, I don't know, like grandiose country song, and then just ended up being like I guess whatever the hell it is now.
Wait, that's your version of a country song?
in some respect.
it's a respect. I never would have put that together. That's cool. That's how you got, like, that's where it ended up as, is you started being like, I want to write a country song. So maybe
that's what I was saying. It was like
Wes had that riff, and it was like, I was like, this is the song for that. So
interesting. That's cool.
Yeah.
So are you guys sharing ideas then like this, like over Zoom?
No. Well, it's mostly so Will and I live in the same house, and Levi lives down the street. And then Wes just lives in New York. So we'll send voice memos a lot, and then when Wes comes down to play a show or whatever, we'll get up and practice the set, but also start like fleshing out ideas for new stuff. I think that's going to be like specifically what we do for the remainder of the summer after the tour. Is we're going to be working on just like all stuff for the next record and not playing shows and all that. So
do you have an idea where you go to record it? Will you just go back to the freezing cold?
We'd like to record with Zach again, potentially, but
maybe in the summer this time.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe in the summer this time, or at least the spring. We'll compromise.
No, but you'll only get chilled. It won't be frozen.
Yeah.
One of the newest song that we have and actually play. We're about to record that next week.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, but we wrote that song. We rented a practice spot in DC before a show that we had there. And that was just we had more time than we needed, and we wrote the song there, and we were all we all connected.
It was just a random idea too. We were it was cool to use later.
We all just connected with it, and we played it the whole time we were on tour.
Yeah.
So it just happened like that then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean that was kind of a lucky thing. I don't know if everything is gonna be written like that, but that's how that worked out.
That song is cool too. The practice space we rented also is a venue sometimes. Okay. It's in DC, and that was the first venue I played at with Keep too. So special to me.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Full circle nostalgic.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
For us, yeah.
That's way cool.
Yeah.
I dig that.
Yeah.
I guess just to kind of wrap up here, thank you guys so much for your time. Do you want to end with each one of your worst show stories?
Okay.
So
okay.
Break, being on stage or anything. Yeah.
Let's start with Nick.
Let's start with Nick.
I feel like Wes gonna start with me. I feel like
I got one.
Oh, dude, I feel like Wes and I might have the same one.
All right,
that's okay. Yeah.
Wes, you go first. Yeah.
Okay, so this was pre Levi and Will in the band. First time we were going to Canada, same thing that Nick was talking about, going to the East Coast.
Yeah.
And the first show on the tour was in Philadelphia. First time in Philly, we were stoked. And we
just rolling in cheesesteaks.
I think we got cheesesteaks. Yeah,
we did.
And we played this venue called The Fire, which was it was like an old firehouse, I guess. And it was
okay.
Cool.
That's
it
cool.
was
Ghostbusters.
It was a real venue. I was like, oh, sick! First day of tour, fuck yeah! This is gonna be awesome. And
wait, was it Firehouse Subs?
No. It was just called
okay. Yeah. My bad.
Easy mistake.
Comic Comic relief.
And we got there, and the first band that played was a bunch of high school kids, I guess, or whatever, and they brought a bunch of people, and I was sick. This is gonna be a awesome show.
Oh no, I know where this is going.
But it was a school night, and they played first, and we headlined for some reason because it was our show, and we literally played to 0 people. The sound person actually moved up to make it look like we were playing for them. Played for 0 people. At the end of the night,
I hate that, man.
At the end of the night, the guy was like, yeah, the venue cost whatever, $300 to rent, so you didn't cover that, so you don't have any money.
Oh, dude, I hate when they do that too. You're like, dude, I'm on fucking tour, man.
You played for no one and made no money. And I was younger at the time, so I was like, fuck this venue. So
right.
That was the worst show I've ever played. And we played great. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's just the fact you had to play to no one. Yeah, I hate that. Especially on tour too, because it's okay, you got to put the local dudes last, or have a band that has fans that are cool enough to be yo, stick around. These guys are touring and they're headlining for a reason. Stick around.
Yeah. After that, I'm very it doesn't matter if I don't know the band. If I know they're on tour, specifically, I'll watch them. I'll just be in the room for them.
Get it.
Because now I know. I was on the other side, playing to the sound person. That was crazy.
It beats. At least you had a good show, though.
Yeah.
We had a great set. Probably the best set we ever played.
So that's my story.
Yeah,
Wes and I had
the same one. Yeah.
What was it from your perspective?
Particularly defeating.
Right.
Yeah, especially being the first show on the tour.
Yeah.
It's not a great foot to start.
We were like, this is so sick. We're getting out of town. We're doing it. And then night one, it's just nobody in the room. I was I think I remember being talking to the sound guy, being should we wait a second? And he was like, nah, you're good.
Oh, no.
No one else is coming in. There's no one else in the building except for the bartender.
Fuck.
What was
Damn.
yours?
There might have been like one other person that peeked their head in for a second, but then they wanted to go back to drinking, so they.
Which just a drunk guy walks in. No chicks in here. I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Every show I've ever played has been.
Yeah, it's just perfect.
Fuck you.
Yeah. There was this one time we were on a tour with the old band that Will, Nick, and I used to play with in.
What was it called?
Teenage Cenobite. It was like
Cenobite.
Cenobite, yeah. But no, we were on tour, and I think we were in Nashville, playing at this one spot called Betty's, and like, yeah, like there was just like a fight in the audience, like while playing, and just bad vibes.
But not like mosh pit vibe, like
not,
actual
yeah,
serious
not mosh
fight.
pit, like you know, like.
You fucked my sister.
Yeah, some shit like that. And like, I mean, it was like a younger crowd. It seemed like they were all like, you know, like skaters and like, yeah, it just, which I used to skate. So it's no hate, but sometimes that crowd.
Right. They're just looking, maybe some people looking for a fight.
Yeah, it's not a mosh pit to them all the time. It's more of an actual, like, let me actually punch somebody. And yeah, and essentially that was just big fight in the middle, and it wasn't.
But as you guys were playing, did you stop or did they just continue?
Yeah, no, we stopped, and it was really awkward.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone's just quiet as they're just doing their thing.
Yeah, and then like the guy that started the fight tried to fight our singer, and
oh, what? Yeah. He rushed the stage.
Overly aggressive. Mostly, like with my experience with Keep, at least, I can't think of any like.
It's been good. Yeah.
Specifically, like terribly bad shows.
Will and I skipped all the bad shows.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Can you guys think of any, Wes and Nick? Like,
oh, like with you guys
that I played that were like really. I mean, I've had like a couple like. I just completely like forgot how to play a song moments.
Dude, those hurt so bad.
Where I was like just defeated, and I was like, oh man, what am I doing? But it wasn't, you know, I always fixed it, and you know.
I fixed it in post.
Yeah, I fixed it in post.
I'm trying to think. I don't know why. The only thing that comes to mind is it's not Keep related. When we were in high school, Wes and I and two other friends got hired by his neighbor to do a Beatles cover set for his
I want that cut. I just want the clip of Wes doing that cut.
Yes. It was his niece's birthday, and he gave us like a 10-song set list and was like, all right, like learn this.
How much did he pay you?
Oh, a lot.
He was paying
like,
$300.
Like $500. Yeah.
So,
oh wow,
that's
a lot. Yeah.
Three, like something like that. And he gave us a set list like well ahead of time and was like, all right, learn these songs. Neither
all
us
Beatles?
nor our friends who we got to do it with us ever listened to the Beatles.
No.
And so week of, we were like, oh, we need to get practicing. And so the night before we started practicing and we were like listening to songs like, how the hell does this song go? And we called the neighbor multiple times being like, yo, dude, we're like working on this stuff. Can we cut a couple songs from the set? Like, it's not going so well. He was like, yeah, like that's fine. Just do what you can. And we showed up and like played the worst Beatles cover set. I was reading lyrics off my phone.
Shitty Beatles.
We were the shitty Beatles.
He made us wear the wigs too.
Yes.
You guys
That's what this is. Yes. Wait, so what songs do you remember that you actually tried to pull off?
There was I know "Love Me Do" was one of them.
Let's
I think we did Twist and Shout.
Twist and Shout.
That's all I remember. I think we played 4 songs.
I think we played 4 of the songs, and then we went inside for a second, and
we like ran inside.
Like the dude like sent us into his like bar room, and we were like, dude, we fucked up so bad. That's so embarrassing. Like I think the kid was crying. Like the parents in the back had their like iPhones trying to film, but they like quickly put them down because we were doing such a bad job.
But we saved it. We saved it.
And then I think we went back out and like the kids wanted to do karaoke, so I like played acoustic guitar while they did karaoke. And then the dad was like, "All right, here's the money, like get the fuck out of my house."
That was crazy.
What'd y'all buy with the money?
We bought weed.
No. I actually remember what we did. Right after that, we went to
like the wig still on.
No, we went to like a sushi buffet, like an all-you-can-eat sushi buffet.
That's right.
Hell yeah! Wait, so did he make you not just wear the wigs, but you guys wore an outfit too?
No, we were just in normal clothes. But he did play like the sound bit of like the Beatles going on stage at like somewhere massive.
Like,
it was
like
Chase Stadium.
Here are the Beatles, and it's just us. Like,
it's just us and our two friends.
The shitty Beatles.
Do you have a photo of that?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to see what you guys looked like with the wigs on.
I
want
to see that too. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks amazing.
I think that's lost to the ether, honestly.
He's like, I don't want to put that out there. I was so defeated in the
photo. If I could find it, I would send it, but I have no leads on that one.
That was so insane.
That's so funny.
That might be the worst gig, honestly.
I don't think we can top that. That's such a good story.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, maybe this one. Like, oh, you mean the best story? The best story ever told? Oh, God. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much again for coming on and chatting with us. Yeah, it was an absolute pleasure. Can't wait to see you guys when you come back through.
Yeah, hope to.
For sure.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And we'll catch you guys later.
Peace.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Later, y'all.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to You Guys Shred.